Hey everyone, Andrea Piper here with Great Expectations Realty, and today is Monday, which means it's time for What's Up Ocala. I was looking over the numbers today, and you guys would be shocked and amazed at some of the numbers I was seeing, but I will definitely share that with you and show you how the market is shifting this week and shifting quickly. But before we get into that, I definitely want to talk about the interest rates, how they did kind of go down just a hair. So it's a little bit closer to the 5% mark, which is great. So kind of exciting stuff going all around, basically. One of the things that I did want to talk about is if you guys were watching the city council meeting that was so extremely exciting and crazy. So we kind of had a little bit of a heads up from the CEP president or CEO, Kevin Sheely, because he was talking at an event, but we didn't really know what was going on. We just knew something really cool was happening. But yeah, we were actually listening to the Ocala City Council meeting, and there's really big news. There is, I believe it was over 100 acres of land sold to a company, which they did not put the company's name, which was killing me because I'm dying to see who it is, but they didn't put the company's name. It's kind of over near the airport, and they put as it's like I don't know, a real estate company or development company or whatever is purchasing it. Now that company is not local. That company is out of Georgia, out of Atlanta. So, and a lot of companies do that are moving into Florida, they are from Atlanta, Georgia, because that's one of the, I don't know, one of the highway distribution areas or whatever. So anyway, but yeah, so that company is out of Atlanta. So it makes me think that at least some company in Atlanta is moving down here, or they're considering or whatever. Their headquarters is maybe there. I'm not really sure, but they're coming down from Atlanta. They called it Project Angus, and I'm thinking the reason that they called it that doesn't mean it has anything to do with beef. I think it's because they were originally considering buying over by where the Amazon, Chewy, and all of that distribution centers over there, that has pretty much sold out. They don't have enough room for them over there. And the next land that's actually getting sold because of the highway interchange that's coming off of there, they're putting a highway in. But what they're doing is that's where, let's see, hold on, let me think. Buc-ee's is going right there by the interchange. I've seen Ocala LLC come up. Of course, this is several years out because they still have to build the interchange off of I-75, which basically takes an act of Congress. So anything you do to I-75, forget it. It's going to take freaking forever. But they're putting the Buc-ee's over there. And then they're also that farm where the interchange is going to go and where the Buc-ee's is most likely going to go and all of that. That farm is Black Angus farm. Anyway, so I'm thinking they meant to buy part of that farm, and that's why they called it the Angus Project. That's just a guess, okay? That's totally a guess. But that's just what makes sense to me. So, I mean, if I were a distribution center wanting to do something with trucks, I would probably try and go over there as well. But of course, that's zone farmland. They would have to change it over to industrial. But anyway, that being said, there is over 100 acres that they were trying to sell that for decades. It's over kind of by the airport. There's no road going directly into the airport, but I guess they could build a road, you know, whatever. They said it was non-aviation. In fact, what they said was that it was cold storage. The mayor piped up and asked, he's like, this has nothing to do with marijuana, right? I just about died. I was like, what? So he was like, I just want to make sure this has nothing to do with the Mary Jane. I was rolling. I was laughing so hard. I was so glad I was at home and not there because I just busted out laughing. But yeah, so I have no idea what that was about, but it was funny. Anyway, so yeah, it's apparently some kind of cold storage, refrigerated trucks kind of distribution center, which those are really big in Atlanta. They have some really big ones, not only all over the world, but also in Atlanta. So, and there's some major companies that specialize in that. I mean, you think about all of the cold storage that you get, it has to be, the logistics involved would be crazy. Because anything with that, you know, if it's frozen, like ice cream, if you really contemplate how difficult it is to move ice cream cross country, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So the entire building has to be refrigerated, really, frozen or refrigerated, depending on what it is you're hauling. I mean, it's just very complicated. Anyway, they are doing some kind of distribution center like that, but they're bringing in over 1,000 jobs, plus the money from the sale of the land, which was over $8 million, which they said that is going to go to the airport, which would be really great because we need more money for the airport so that the airport can grow. The airport does not currently have commercial flights going out of it. So, but that is the next stage, is they want to at least 1 or 2 days a week have commercial flights go out of the Ocala International Airport. Right now it's just private. So there are a lot of private planes there. There's a lot of schools for learning how to fly. There is a lot of private jets internationally coming in, but primarily what we end up using the airport for is horses. I think they probably fly more horses in and out of Ocala International Airport than they do people. There's actually a travel agent that works down there that specifically does horses. I mean, if you think about it, if you have to ship a horse from like Dubai to Ocala so that it can compete at the World Equestrian Center, or if you purchase a horse over at OBS, Ocala Breeder Sales, and then ship them over to, you know, Dubai or wherever they're, New York or wherever they're getting shipped to, that's a complicated process, especially when the horses can cost to, you know, $1 million, $2 million. You want to be careful. You want to be careful. Anyway, so just kind of interesting that they're doing this. So yeah, there is going to be a lot of revenue generated and a lot of jobs generated. So really excited about that. But this is over and above. This square footage alone, they said, was going to be anywhere from 1.2 million square feet. That would be the smallest, all the way up to 3.2 million square foot building. This is going to be huge, y'all, huge. I cannot tell you how excited we are to have something like this into Ocala, because I think it's really going to help the airport. It's really going to help, you know, further our economy, because again, we are slowing down a little bit. We are, you know, that big huge rush where everybody wanted to move to Florida because of COVID. We don't really have that anymore. So we want to make sure that we continue to grow, and it wasn't just a bubble that has burst. This is something that we're actually, you know, we're going through a rise. We're actually having a lot of people come to Ocala, namely, instead of Tampa or Orlando. Now, does that mean that we want to be Tampa, Orlando? No. We like our farms. We love our farms. We love having the horses and the rivers and I mean, it's beautiful. It is a rural community. Do not come here expecting like mini Orlando. That is not what this is. That's not what this is at all. But it is cool that we have more and more jobs coming into Ocala, because that is going to increase wages for people. And you know, it used to be when you'd move to Ocala, you pretty much had to take a pretty big pay cut to be here, and that's starting to really change. So that's really cool to see. We also, prior to this going through, had over 8 million square feet of industrial you know, distribution centers or warehouse or whatever companies that are actively being built right now. Like currently there's 8 million square feet. So those are going to be a lot of jobs as well. This is on top of this. So we're going to have around 10 to 11 million square foot of distribution centers and of warehousing and stuff like that that is being built here in Ocala. So, and this isn't like they're like building it to lease out. They're actually, this is the company that is like, we're going to build this specifically to what our needs are. A lot of these other, the other 8 million square foot, that's all stuff they didn't know for sure who was going to lease it out. They were just kind of, spec building. That is, to have a building that's like 1 million square foot on spec, that has got to, you're going to lose some sleep over that. That's got to freak you out. But we do need the space. And a lot of people are really loving how Ocala is just kind of right there. We're right by the turnpike, so you can go that way. We're, right in the middle of everything. Right before you do the split into 275 going into Tampa. It's just a really good location, and then going north, you can go 10, you can go over across and go to 95 all the way up. There's just a lot of different stuff that you can do. We're kind of right. What I used to say is we're in the middle of everything and nothing all at once. So still kind of holds true. But anyway, if you have a spare few minutes, go on to, you can actually go Google Ocala City Council meeting. You can actually watch the City Council meetings. But it was really interesting. It was just some back and forth, and oh my goodness, it was so dramatic for, I don't know, probably the last hour, maybe the last, there was like a half hour block where it was like, it was like a crazy tennis match, but with multiple people. It was it was insane, absolute insanity. So my husband and I were kind of going back and forth. One of the city council members is a realtor. She's very new to city council, and city council is a thankless job. I will say that it really is. It's not like they make much money of anything. In fact, they probably lose money. But that being said, the city council person kept saying how, even though there was an appraisal from a third party, local appraiser, she's like, well, I think we can get more for it. But there's an appraised value. And it was crazy because she didn't really understand the numbers. At first she was like, well, how come this is this and this and this? And Kevin Sheely stepped up and he's like, well, this is what this sold at, and this is what this sold at, and this is what this sold at. And he knew all the numbers right off the top of his head and was able to share that information with her. So even though she had that information and the appraisal, she was still like, I think we should counter. Dude, it's millions of dollars coming into our community. And they're buying in bulk, okay? This is over 100 acres. I know even when I have way smaller deals, would love to sell an $8 million piece of land, but when I sell land, there's a huge difference in the price when you sell a half an acre or an acre versus 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 acres. It's just a huge difference. When you're buying in bulk, the more you buy, the less the price is. So it's just, that's what happens. So one of the people that got up to speak actually did say that. He's like, well, I bought some land and it wasn't at that price. And I'm like, yeah, but you probably didn't buy 100+ acres either. So it was just kind of crazy. But watching the play going back and forth, I was serious armchair quarterback. Me and my husband were watching it. It was almost 10 o'clock at night. We're still watching it just go back and forth. I was like, this is crazy. I was just so worked up and it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me. But they did, in fact, you know what? I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm going to go ahead and let you watch it. But that was the big question, is were they going to go ahead and allow this to go through, this deal, that has been in the works for quite a while. So it was, absolutely. It was the best show on TV, and it wasn't even on TV. It was on YouTube or something. Anyway, take a look. It was highly entertaining, really interesting, very educational. Even my daughter came in and she was watching it and she's just like, but this and that. It was crazy. They actually started arguing, hardcore arguing back and forth on the city council. It was one of those. It was It was really crazy. So anyway, it was interesting to watch. But yeah, very excited for all of the new stuff coming into Ocala and the new jobs that brings, and the exciting new developments here. You know, we're going to keep moving forward, still protecting our farmland and still protecting what is Ocala and what really beats at the heart of Ocala, but also making sure that people aren't taking a pay cut by, you know, moving here, and our kids have a future here. That's a big difference. There's another city where there's really, you know, here in Marion County, there's, you know, Denellen, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to call them out on it and say the kids over there don't really have anything over there. I mean, if they go to school there, they go to high school, they graduate, they get out of there as soon as possible because they just don't really feel like they had a future. And I say this because I've spoken to them, quite a few of them, and they were just like, yeah, I'm going to move somewhere where, you know, I actually have a good paying job, or where, you know, I'm wanted and needed. And they really don't feel like they have that over there. So we're hoping to change that. We're hoping to get some more involvement and stuff, but it's heartbreaking to have, you know, these families that have been there for generations, and now it feels like the kids don't have a future there where they have all this history. So we want to try and avoid that. We want to, you know, keep our kids close and have, you know, if they can grow and be generational here, that's phenomenal. I would love it if my kids would stay in Ocala, because, you know, then I'd have like grandkids and stuff closer and all of that. But also just the opportunity to be here is huge. And if there's no opportunities for, you know, higher education and better paying jobs, they're not going to be here, you know, and we really do. We need our kids. We need our kids close. And that's, you know, the whole thing with Ocala is, you know, having family and having that sense of our neighbors and all of that. We want to have that sense of community. So we want to keep that as much as possible. And that means the kids too. So we want to try and, you know, have as many kid type things available to them as possible so that they love where they live and they, you know, want to stay. And that's huge for us. Okay, I'm going to get like all emotional if I start talking about my kids moving away. So we're going to go ahead and move on from that. Let's go ahead and talk numbers. Okay, that sounds like a really great thing to do. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the crazy real estate market and what is going on. So we have currently 1,922 houses currently available in Marion County now on MLS. I literally did a search, Marion County residential, bing. Didn't put anything in as far as how many acres, if it was mobile home versus house versus townhome. I did nothing. I did Marion County residential. 1,922. That is much higher. We've been closer to the 1,000 mark for a couple of years now, okay? But that's not the really interesting thing. So 1,922 houses are in there, but hold on, I gotta go back. Go back to the home. Go back to the home. Okay, so we're gonna keep that number in mind. This week, the last 7 days, we had 336 price reductions. There's not that many houses on the market out there. That's crazy. That is crazy how many houses decreased their price this week. That is amazing. So they're probably trying to get their houses sold prior to going into the holiday season, because I'm going to have to tell you, not that many houses sell during the holidays. Sometimes you'll have some close during December. December is one of our biggest months for closings, but they don't really go on the market in December. It just doesn't happen. You either have people coming in to visit, or, you know, you have everybody's got their decorations up and they don't want to have to move them. They're going away for the holidays and they don't want to have showings done while they're not home. You know, there's just a bunch of stuff. So during basically from Thanksgiving to Christmas, that time frame, that's when most of the realtors go on vacation. There's just not that much going on. If you can find a realtor during that time frame, more power to you, because there's just not a lot of people that want to go out house shopping. There's definitely not that much on the market. So a lot of people do a big push before they get to that point, because during that point, it's just a little bit slow. There's, like I said, closings from now, you know, the houses went under contract now, or maybe into September, October, and they close into December, but not really, you know, before that. Anyway, so new listings on the market, we had 205. We had 33 price increases. So interesting, 33 price increases, but that 336 price decreases, that is just killing me today. I just could not believe that. Back on the market, we had 62. So still kind of continuing that trend where people are like, you know what? I like this house. I'm glad I got it under contract, but it's got too many issues for me, or I like this other house better, or whatever. For whatever reason, they walk away. Maybe their financing didn't go through. I don't know. Sold, we had 202. So we are still selling quite a few houses. Expired, we had 10. And pending, we had 253 houses go pending in the last 7 days. So houses are still getting sold. They're just not getting sold for the same amount as they have in the past. So kind of interesting information. Temporarily off the market, we had 27. Withdrawn, we had 5. And canceled, 45. So a lot of people are saying, you know what, I'm not going to get the price I want for this house. I'm just going to keep it. Or maybe they just don't have anywhere to move to. The rental market is insane right now. Absolute mayhem, insane. It's just crazy. So I don't even know how to explain it. It's just crazy. That's just what we're going to go with. But yeah, so many changes going on. Speaking of changes, we're going into the Bur Months. I love the Bur Months. Okay, so this is like the reason I live in Florida, is the Bur Months. So we've got September, October, November, and December. Love them. I love those months. Those are my favorite months out of the year. I know there's quite a few of them, but September is when the temperatures start decreasing, and then it's just a nice, even normally, you know, 60s, 70s for months. We have gorgeous, gorgeous weather. Not much rain, light breezes. It's just beautiful, okay? Love the Bur Months. And that's really when we start picking back up with like stuff that's outdoors. And I mean, yeah, right now we do have outdoor activities, but it's like going to the aquatic centers, going to the splash pads, staying cool basically, or doing indoor activities with some air conditioning, okay? Without air conditioning, Florida would not be what it is. Let's be honest. It's hot right now. But yeah, there is a lot of activity that is coming up in September. So of course we have the First Friday Art Walk starts up again. That is going to be September 2nd from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. downtown, and it's going to continue on the first Friday of every single month from here on out. Up until it gets hot again in May. Appleton Museum, they have their free Saturdays. That's, of course, every month, but there is a lot of activities. If you ever go to the Appleton online and see the activities they have, especially on that first Saturday, there's stuff all over the place. And there's, I mean, you can meet some of the artists. There's kid stuff to do. I mean, it's just really great. So definitely the place to be on the first Saturday of the month. Or you could be over at Junk of the Trunk at Brown's Market. I love that. That is going to be on Saturday, September 3rd from 8 o'clock in the morning until noon. They have like food trucks out there, but it's really cool because these people come up with whatever's in their car. I honestly want to do it so bad this coming up September 3rd. But yeah, you put your stuff in the car, maybe a little table or something like that. You go out there, you park in the spot they give you, and you put your stuff out. And it's like whatever sells, and whatever doesn't, you put it back in your car. So it's literally your junk from your house in your trunk, and then it sells right there. And it's just a big old party. It's just so much fun. So that is coming up the first Saturday in September as well. We have a foodie fest on September 23rd over at Lake Lillian in Bellevue over at the community center. That's from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can check out their Facebook page for that. We have a Comic-Con coming to Ocala. That is the 17th and 18th. So it's Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then Sunday from 11 p.m. to 6 p.m. And that's at the World Equestrian Center at the Expo. We have a Women's Peace Summit over at the Appleton Museum. That is on September 20th from 1 to 3 p.m. And then we have a new thing coming to Ocala, which is the Welcome to Ocala Lifestyle Expo. I believe the first one is going to be on the 27th of September. And that is going to be at the Paddock Mall. There's going to be anywhere from 20 to 80 vendors. And they're going to basically be a resource for, any kind of, if you want to do upgrades to your house, or if you want to know where the hairstylists that recommendations are, or mommy and me groups, or anything like that. All that kind of stuff is going to be, that's the place to do. There's going to be a lot of freebies, a lot of giveaways. I'm going to be there. I absolutely think it's a fantastic opportunity to talk to people that are new to Ocala and that are looking for, resources and stuff. I mean, I always got a guy. I mean, if you've heard me at all talk, I got a guy. So for pretty much anything. And I really like helping other small businesses like myself to, get their name out there. So I want to definitely help with that. And then finally over in September, we have the Oktoberfest, also at the World Equestrian Center in Expo 1. That is September 24th and October 1st. It's 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. and you can get like a beer stein, and there's going to be food, and you're going to see a lot of lederhosen, and it should be a really fun thing. So that is some of the things coming up in September. So hopefully you are looking forward to that. For me and my family, we are going to be doing a lot of camping. My house looks like a camping tornado threw up on it right now. I mean, we've got tents and we've got inflatable mattresses and all sorts of stuff, tent stakes, and we're just sorting it all out. We want to be able to take a bin and just not have to empty and re-empty the car that's the worst part of going on a camping trip, or any kind of trip for that matter, is emptying out the car and sorting through everything and putting it all away. And then when you go again, you gotta so what we're doing is we're literally having a couple of massive bins, and that's everything that we could possibly need to go camping aside from the food. Everything is in those bins, and then we just pop those bins in the car. When we come back, we'll have the dirty clothes or dirty laundry separated out. We wash it all together, dry it all together, put it back in the bin, and that's the only thing we're really touching. So that's the goal, but we are going to be doing a lot of camping because I want to do a camping series. So we have some beautiful camping spots here in Marion County and some amazing springs. The first one is going to be probably the closest to my house, the closest spring for sure. We're going to go over to Rainbow Springs. So really not too far. It's maybe like 20 minutes from our house. And we're going to do all the amenities. We're going to do, my daughter wants to go kayaking, and I'm like more of a, just put me in a tube. I was like, look, we'll go ahead and you do the kayak, I'll do the tube, and I'm just going to bungee myself, and you can just knock yourself out. I know I'm going to get hot and I want to dip in the water, and it's really hard to get back in a kayak. So that's the only thing. It's not because I'm lazy. I mean, maybe, but I really just want to have my drink floating with me. And I just want to veg and be able to, keep myself dipped in the water, because the water is so cold and it feels so good when you're like cooking on top of, so I'm like, yeah, you kayak and I'll just strap myself to you. It'll be great. She's like, whatever, Mom. Okay. So, yeah, it should be fun. We're gonna have some fun with that. I will definitely take lots of videos over the course of the next 6 months to a year, because there's a lot of camping spots here in Marion County. But over the course, I am going to be sharing all of the amazing tent camping places that you can go. And of course they have RV as well, but if I can make it in a tent, RVing should be cakewalk, okay? But I'm going to show all of the amenities, and at the end of it all, we're going to do our top 5. So definitely look for that, and check out some of the videos that we're going to be doing over the next few months, and hopefully it'll encourage you to get out there and enjoy nature. One woman told me, she's like, I don't nature. I'm like, that's okay. But in Ocala, we do nature a lot. Like, nature can sometimes try and get in your house. So, so just enjoy it, okay? Just get out there and enjoy it. You can do some glamping. You can have some great time fun out there with your family. We figured it would be a great opportunity to also unplug. So yes, while I will be doing a lot of videoing, it's probably going to be more with my GoPro as opposed to my phone, because we need to do some unplugging family time as well. So we're going to attempt to do that. I think it's honestly going to be probably harder for me and my husband than it is for our daughter. So sad. It's so sad. But like, even my books and stuff, it's on my phone. All my music on my phone. Anything as far as a newspaper on my phone. Everything's on my phone. Communication, anything, everything is on my phone. Even my alarm clock is on my phone. So, you know, I've got like a whole house full of items, DVDs, TV shows, music, books, everything is now on my phone, of all things. It's so crazy. So we're gonna try to condense and unplug, and we'll see what happens. But we will definitely take video for you guys and definitely share which are the best campsites and which places we would highly recommend and which ones we may not necessarily recommend. Good or bad, I will still be sharing it with you. So hopefully it's all good. But I'll let you know. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, or otherwise, please go ahead and hit us up online. We have all of our contact information in the description below, or you can go ahead and just send us an email at GER.ExpectMore@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everybody out there that has subscribed to my channel and helped us grow. It really encourages me to continue with this channel and these crazy videos that I do. Thanks so much. Bye.